Hi everyone, I'm Nidhi. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm joined by two of my closest friends, Isha and Sayyam. A few years ago, we walked into the medical college as first year medical students with a lot of excitement and a lot of expectations, with a very little idea of what was coming. Fast forward 4.5 years, we have finally completed our entire MBBS and now we're going to start our internship in a couple of weeks. So before stepping into our next journey, we thought it would be a great idea to sit down and look back at these 4.5 years and see how our journey has been. This video isn't going to be a polished success story. It's just three friends sitting and discussing what MBBS was really like for each of us. So if you're preparing for NEET, or you're just starting medical school, or you're struggling to it, or maybe if you're a non-medico trying to figure out what a medical student's life is, we hope you'll find something relatable in this conversation. So with that, let's meet today's guest.
Hi everyone, thank you for having me on the podcast. I'm Isha Bhausar, currently a student of CMC Aurangabad since the last 4.5 years. I've been pursuing my MBBS here. And I'd like to share one thing with you that MBBS is truly a journey, a long journey, which will incorporate into you a lot more than only academic. So yeah, let's talk about it.
Sayyam, now it's your turn.
Yeah, thank you, Nidhi, for having me. Myself, Sayyam, we just finished with my final MBBS university exams and waiting for my internship to start, most probably from the next week. So honestly, yeah, MBBS is one of those journeys that looks very different from outside compared to when you actually live through it every day. So I am really looking forward to having a genuine conversation about the real side of MBBS and the things we honestly wish someone else would have told us earlier.
Okay, so let's start with the questions. So Isha,
Yeah.
do you ever feel lost in first year as if everyone else knew what they were doing except you? Did you feel like that?
Firstly, as I was a day scholar, so definitely I did not have that much contact with my seniors. So as compared to the people who were in hostel, they used to meet with their seniors every day. So the seniors used to guide them a lot. So definitely they knew a lot more than me. So उस time पे लगता था कि yeah, I'm a bit lost या फिर I did not know as much things as much they knew about academics or even about normal college stuff. So that was one point when I felt a bit lost. But eventually, as I went through the entire year, I got a hang of things. And definitely by the middle of the year, I was pretty familiar with them.
Okay, so since we are talking about first year, Sayyam, tell me, when you opened your anatomy book for the very first time, what exactly felt difficult? What did you feel was very daunting for you?
Honestly, initially I thought anatomy would be difficult because of the volume of the subject. But later I realized that the hardest part was actually visualizing and remembering the relations. Like in school, everything was very separate, what you used to study. But in MBBS, everything felt interconnected. So it felt very overwhelming at the first time. I think many students make the mistake of trying to mug anatomy like line by line. But anatomy becomes much easier when you start visualizing the body like a 3D map. So instead of just memorizing the text. So I think anatomy becomes difficult the moment you study it like theory instead of visualizing it. So in first year, even pronouncing the terms confidently felt like an achievement. And with time, we learned drawing the diagrams and learning the relations. I think drawing the diagrams makes it very easier.
Yeah, because basically first year students, they are basically just 12th pass graduates. So
Yeah.
expecting them to know everything is a bit,
Yeah, it's very expecting very much, but with time you get to
with time.
learn those
Give
things.
time.
Yeah.
Isha, tell me, what would you tell a first year student who feels lonely, very lonely in the first few months of college?
In the first few months of college, as you are away from home, definitely you are going to feel that homesickness. You're going to miss your family, your friends that you've been through with the entire time, at least in the last year. But initially, definitely it is new. But you will make friends eventually. Hang in there. It is a new time for everybody. Everybody is new there. Everybody is looking for friends. And definitely I'll say that first year में जो तुम friends बनाओगे वो तो शायद नहीं रहेंगे final year तक, लेकिन first year में जो तुम memories, so enjoy your first year, don't feel lost and be happy, give time to adjust and adjust happily around, be there.
Would you tell a first year student to just go all in and be totally vulnerable and be friends with everyone, or would you tell them to take their time and,
No, I would
you know?
say take your time. Don't be in a rush to be a friend with everyone because that is not possible. You're going to have a batch of 200 people. Definitely, your mindset will not match with each and every person who's present there. But eventually, as you find your way through it, you will find people who think more alike, like you, and who are willing to be with you in
You
the entire
eventually
journey.
find your tribe.
You eventually find your people is what I
Yeah,
mean.
your people.
Like more than tribe, like जो रहेगा तुम्हारे साथ, like your people.
So, Sayyam, what was the first internal exam mistake you made in your first year? Tell us about it. And how should we avoid making such mistakes?
Okay, so in first year, when you encounter your first internal exam and you study for it full-fledgedly, I think I used to sit for long hours and feel like that I am very productive right now. But when I went into the exam hall, examination hall, I realized I couldn't reproduce everything what I've read. So what I underestimated was revision and active recall. This is a very ancient study that you should revise the things and actively recall them with spaced repetition. So yeah, in MBBS, just reading once can give you confidence, but revision is what actually creates the retention. So if I had to tell my juniors one thing, that don't only read passively, revise repeatedly, test yourself. Because reading a topic during your preparation and writing it in the exam are two completely different things. So yeah, revise maximum and try to write the answers yourself before the examination into your books or in your books, and you will get through it.
No, Sayyam, but you said something about active recall and spaced repetition. What
Yeah.
exactly is that? We need to know because most of us don't.
See, this is what that if you read a topic today, then you should have a planning that after how many days you will again revise the topic. It should be like after 1 or 2 weeks, you should go back to the topic. You should again revise it. You should actively recall what you have read. Like without opening a textbook, you should try to recall what you have read earlier. And on the basis of that, you should try to solve some questions. So you will get that how much you remember out of that 100% what you have read, how much percentage do you remember after some period of time. So you a bit confident as well, and you understand what is left to be revised.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. So, Isha, how did your idea of friendship change during these 4.5 years? We need to know.
It changed drastically. Definitely in the first year, I was more open. Maybe I was more open to being friends with a lot of people. But
Yeah.
eventually, as I went through it, I understood not everybody is tailor made for you. And you should not really open up to a lot of people unless and until you completely trust them, is what I've learned in the last 4.5 years. Because you don't know how people will use information against you, especially in a medical school. Just don't trust people in the first go, is what I like to say.
That's true. So, Sayyam, in your second year, what exactly did you think was the trap? Is it exhausting because it's a long year or because there are too many resources and that leads to a lot of confusion? What is the trap?
The biggest trap is, of course, as you said, confusion. Because suddenly there are many resources to study, there are many videos. You get to know about prep ladder, you get to know about dams, you get to know about marrow. So there are too many opinions, and we as students spend more time deciding on how to study than actually studying. So because the year also feels long, many students also delay revision thinking there is much more time left now. And I also feel personally that even I and many students ignored practicals in second year
Yeah.
personally. So they get ignored in the last moment, be it be it patho, be it micro, we ignore them. But in second year, you don't fail because it's not impossible to study. It is overwhelming because it lacks a structure to study. And so consistency is what helps you over here. If you stay consistent with your studies, if you just don't get distracted by many things and focus on one resource, whatever you are trusting more, so it becomes more easy than connecting many resources.
Okay. Yes. Isha, now you tell me, why do you think, first of all, do you think third year gets underestimated or overlooked? Third year. And why do you think so?
I think it does get underestimated. A lot of people, they have that ideology, we do ही subject hai, there are only 2 subjects, we'll take it as a year, we'll enjoy the year, we'll go more into extracurricular activities. But I feel it should not be like that because there's the final year which awaits you the next year. It has 11 subjects, 11 massive subjects, which are clinical, which will test you. to your limit. And I think as soon as you start your preparation for final year, you will be in that much of profit. Because जितना जल्दी शुरू करोगे उतना तुम्हारा ही फायदा है. Definitely you won't remember a lot of things that you study in third year, but you will have that sense of confidence that I have at least done it once, so I'll do it faster when I do it the second time.
Which combination of subjects would you suggest for third year? Which final year subjects would you suggest doing in third?
I think go for more volatile subjects or subjects which are really lengthy, like medicine. Finish 2 or 3 units of medicine in third year itself, so that you have a sorted pathway for your final year. And at least do your basic that will help you in clinical postings also. So you can do more clinical stuff in the third year and then move on to more theoretical stuff in the final year. That is one path that we follow.
So the concepts is something we should start early, because if you understand the concepts, it gets easier.
You can build over concepts. If you have your concepts, your foundations clear, you can build over it.
So Sayyam, you please tell our viewers a little about ENT and ophthalmology, what topics they should focus on in practicals and theory separate.
Yeah, these two subjects are very underestimated in the third year, I think, because since the CBME pattern came and we got the ENT and ophthalm got shifted to final year, so we neglected them a bit. But these two subjects are very practical heavy. I think our juniors should start instruments identification, the clinical examinations, and some common cases early instead of leaving everything to the last moment or leaving everything till the final year. So in ophthalm, especially if you delay things like visual acuity and the fundus basics, or even the cataract and glaucoma topics like this, the subject suddenly becomes stressful when the exams come closer. So these topics are really what you should focus early. You should complete them in the third year itself during your practical postings and all. And in ENT, if I talk especially the tuning fork tests, the hearing, the tests which you perform for your hearing and the otoscopy, the DNS, the common cases like CSOM or epistaxis, this should be done in third year itself during your postings so that it becomes easy. And these subjects are easy if you study it early. Last minute preparation makes them look much harder than actually they are. So I would say my juniors to at least study the practical topics in third year itself.
Okay. So I think we have talked enough about first, second, and third year. Now let's talk about the most awaited final year. The next question is for Isha. So Isha, was there any special posting incident or any patient interaction which made you feel like, okay, yes, now I'm actually becoming a doctor. I'm not just a medical student right now, I'm becoming a doctor.
So there was this one specific incident that happened during my prelim pediatrics practical. So this child, I still remember his name. I still remember his mother's name. The child's name was Devans and his mother's name was Durga. So he had come to the hospital. He's just a 1 month old child, like a newborn, neonate child. When he was brought to the hospital, he was just 15 days old. So he had complete swelling over his body. His mother, his grandmother, both were like, they were so scared. They were scared to even hold the child. He was that swollen up. He was a case of nephrotic syndrome. It was a spot diagnosis. They had shown in 2-3 other hospitals before, but there was no effect on the child of medication. But when they came to our hospital, the medication had an effect on him and they were so happy. And after I interacted with them, so it was a practical case. So I had to just go take the history, talk to them for some time. But while I was leaving, she asked me one question. So that just made me realize how important is it to just speak to these parents. They are just there for one lining of hope. And when you give them that hope, they are eager to even hold that one little hope. So that made me realize how important this profession is, how important it is to even communicate gently with these parents. Because they are at the brink of breaking down. They are already facing so much that even speaking to them in a very nice language is what they expect. That is like the basic expectation. So that made me realize how important it is to be a part of this community.
Yes. So Sayyam, you tell us about medicine. Please tell us about medicine and how important medicine postings are and how should one approach them.
Okay. See, I think if you become a passive observer during your medicine postings, that's sort of the biggest mistake you are doing in your MBBS. If you really want to improve clinically, every posting, be it medicine, be it surgery, every posting should include at least one proper history taking, one examination, and one discussion about the patient which you're seeing at that moment. Initially, I understand that you won't understand much. Being students, we usually don't understand much at the first moment, but that's totally normal. But slowly you start connecting the symptoms, signs, investigations, the diagnosis all together when you start studying the theory part as well. So yeah, clinical postings start benefiting you the day you stop standing silently in the corner and really studying the patient. So yeah, I would say medicine is very interesting subject. It's really very interesting if you when the patients stop feeling like cases and you start feeling them like real stories. So yeah.
Yeah. So, Isha, the next question is for you. Have you had any awkward or any funny incident that happened during your viva or maybe during the postings? Can you share that with us?
So this is the case of my second year of medicine posting. So we were taking the case of a 65-year-old male patient, and we were asked to take his addiction history. So we went there and we asked him कि आप कुछ लेते हो क्या? Do you drink or do you smoke? Do you have any kind of addiction? So he completely denied that no, I do not have any addiction. I do not drink or do not smoke and something like that. So we told the same thing to our resident who was taking our case that day. And then he asked us, did you look at his file? We were like, नहीं sir, हमने तो file नहीं देखी. So he asked us to go and look at the file one. So we went and we checked the file. On that, it was written he's a chronic alcoholic since 20 years of age.
Thank God.
That means since the last 45 years he drinks. Also, he chews tobacco for the same amount of time.
Why do
And he has not told us even a bit कि मैं ये करता था या फिर मैं ये लेता था. He has just completely denied that I do not drink, I do not have any addiction. So this is what happens when you're in a medicine posting.
So it's very
People
common.
lie to you a lot. It is very common. People lie to you a lot because they know you are still learning.
Yeah.
उनको ऐसा लगता है कि क्या ही करेंगे.
Yeah.
So
but
इसलिए they don't reveal a lot of things. So it is again an art. कि how do you communicate to your
communicate. You have to get that
How do
history
you
out of them.
get
Somehow
the-
or the other.
tell them.
हाँ.
You have to gain that trust for them to tell you their personal history. क्योंकि नहीं बताते हैं, बहुत लोग नहीं बताते हैं, या फिर बहुत लोग छुपाते हैं. And that is what you have to learn. कि how to communicate and how to get it out of them.
8com.
Yeah.
Sayyam, what about you? Is there any incident you want to share? Anything?
Yeah, there is one surgery posting incident.
Okay.
One of our batchmate had taken a case of POD, and in POD, in a case format, you ask for impotency in the negative history or in the past history or in personal history, you ask for impotency. So while presenting the case to one of our residents, he mentioned in the case that those complaints of impotency and all. So resident asked him in a funny way that, how did you ask for impotency? So he answered that, like, how did you check for impotency? So he says that he has 2 kids, so he may not be impotent, but at present, is he impotent or not? How did you ask? How did you check that? So that was a funny incident that we all started laughing and all, like, how did he check for impotency of the patient?
Yeah. But postings were fun. Such incidents do keep happening all the time.
Yeah.
Almost on a daily basis.
Yeah. I will miss that. I will miss that about MBBS.
Yeah.
So, Sayyam, tell me, if any examiner asks you something and you don't know the answer, what do you think is the best way to get out of this situation without sounding too unaware or too ignorant?
See, I think the safest thing is to stay calm and honest instead of just panicking or bluffing the things. If genuinely you don't know something, at my personal level, I say that I am not completely sure, but I think I try to answer the question logically. See, the most examiners can actually tell the difference between nervousness and overconfidence. So a calm, partial answer looks much better than a confident wrong answer. And yeah, examiners are very much experienced than you. You are just 4.5 years in the field and they have been taking such exams, such vivas since the last 10, 15 years. So they just expect you to be sincere and basically to have more clinical thinking than a perfect answer. So yeah, just stay calm and answer logically.
So
avoid saying sorry to every question you are asked. You should say sorry if you don't know 4 out of 5 answers, but it's okay. You say sorry at one answer, you say sorry at 2 answers, but not at every answer. Try to answer logically because that also irritates the examiner.
But sometimes I feel like they are, it's like they want us to do well. They do seem scary at times, but then they want us to do well. So
Yeah.
yeah. Isha,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. They don't expect perfection.
Yeah, obviously they shouldn't. Isha. So Isha, you tell me, how can juniors enjoy their college life? They say that medical students are always studying and they are supposed to be studying 24/7. So how should juniors enjoy their college life without getting the guilt of not studying 24/7 according to the norms?
See, I don't believe that a medical student should be studying 24 by 7. I believe in the fact that you should have a balanced life. Firstly, and most importantly, you should have a healthy body because in a healthy body, only with a healthy mind is fine. So, firstly, I feel at least 1 hour of a day or at least 45 minutes of the day, you should devote to exercise, to either gym, to either a sports, whatever you like. Zumba bhi kar sakte ho, but anything that you like. Like I myself, since the last 4.5 years, I have been engaged in doing some or the other physical activity at least 1 hour of a day. It keeps me healthy, it keeps me fresh, it keeps me active. That is when I know what I have to do with the rest of my day. And try to incorporate extracurriculars also when you are in the college. Participate in dances, participate in college fest, participate in whatever sports events that you have. Because that will not only, detach you from academics, but it will also attach you to a lot of other things. Like it will teach you team spirit, it will teach you how to maintain friends, it will teach you how to maintain in a stressful environment. So that is what something I would tell my juniors, that participate in a lot of things, engage yourself in activities. And not only that, Saturday, Sundays, when you have free time, go for movies, go for outings. That will keep your schedule a bit free and a bit easy. But definitely before exams, when you have to study, please study because that is the need of the time. So yeah, just balance your time and plan out your day. That is what I would like to say.
Thank you. Also, next question is for Sayyam. Sayyam, if you had to give a year-wise roadmap to the juniors entering first year, what would you suggest in first year, second year, and third, fourth?
Every year of MBBS teaches you a different skill. Basically, talking about first year, it is about building discipline and learning how to study medicine. Second year is about understanding the disease processes and staying consistent despite the distractions you have. Third year is more about where communication skills and practical exposure starts improving because you become more serious about the postings, and also you have that family programs in your PSM postings. So yeah, that also gives you a more better idea about the communication skills. And final year is where you slowly transit from memorizing subjects to actually thinking them clinically. So MBBS feels easier when you stop trying to master everything at once and focus on the purpose of each year separately. Each year is less about scoring marks and more about building layers of knowledge. So just go with the flow, study each year. Yeah, as Isha said right now, enjoy your MBBS journey at the same time.
Okay. So, Isha, what would you like, in one line, what would you like to say to your first year self?
Don't be scared of trying new things and go with the flow, but at the same time, maintain your stance. Don't fall into a lot of traps that are present in MBBS. Just be yourself, enjoy yourself, and do your best.
What about you, Sayyam? What would you say to your first year self?
I I would have never thought whatever I have done in this 4.5 years I would have done when I just entered MBBS. Whatever I have achieved in the last 4.5 years is really unexceptional for myself. I never imagined I would be at this state. So yeah, keep going through the flow. Keep enjoying every moment you have. Keep enjoying keep like making memories with your friends. Don't get so much like overwhelmed with anyone in MBBS. Yeah, just go with the flow is what I would say.
Okay. Thank you so much to both of you for coming on my channel. I think it was a wonderful discussion.
Yeah.
Okay. As we wrap up this conversation, I think one thing all of us can agree on is that MBBS turned out to be very different from what we had imagined on day one. Over the last 4.5 years, I think we have learned far more than just medicine. We have learned how to deal with pressure, uncertainty, responsibility, as well as growth. There's excitement, there's nervousness, and there's still a lot left to learn. To everyone who is just starting MBBS, is going through it, or has already finished it, I hope our conversation gave you an honest glimpse into what MBBS really is like. A huge thank you to Isha and Sayyam for joining me today and sharing their experiences so openly and honestly. If you enjoyed this podcast, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Let us know in the comments below what your MBBS experience has been like or what you'd like us to talk about in future episodes. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.